So how much can you really accomplish in a backyard raised bed garden? I'm here to tell you we can grow a lot of produce, organic, healthy vegetables and fruits for you to enjoy and for you and your family to enjoy. Let me give you a tour of my backyard garden. Hey guys, Daryl, Louisiana Simple Living. I'm back out here in the garden today. Covered a lot of good topics, Spring Garden 101 series. Talked about strawberries, and we kind of did a little 275 subscriber giveaway. What we're going to talk about today is my backyard organic raised bed garden, along with some containers, some planters that I got hanging. You know, but it has been a number of weeks since I've given you an update, not only on the 4x5 bed over there that we built and planted as part of the Spring Garden 101 series, but I haven't given you a complete garden tour since the fall. So that's what we're going to accomplish today as well. From the garden tour, we're going to give you some ideas, hopefully, and some inspiration about what you can do in your backyard organic garden, especially in the south in Zone 9A. But we'll take a look at everything that I got planted here in the backyard garden. Hey, look, if you hadn't subscribed just yet, go ahead and subscribe. Ring the notification bell. Feel free to share the video as well. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about my backyard organic raised bed and container garden. All right, just kind of giving you the 30,000 foot perspective, or actually probably about 100 foot perspective. But basically this is the overhead of the garden. The two bottom raised bed gardens are 16 by 4. You got 3 that are 12 by 4. You got 4 that are 4 by 5, and then you got some 3 foot wide all along both edges of the fence. All right, we took kind of the 100 foot overhead view. Just a couple statistics about all the plants that we have out here. I mean, I've got over 400 actual plants throughout the raised beds and containers, easily 400. Now, the majority of what I got planted, at least from a spring garden perspective, is tomatoes and peppers. Got a couple eggplants, and then a variety of other plants, beans, squash, and so forth. But tomatoes and peppers are my two main crops that I like to have during this time of the year. In fact, for tomatoes, I got like 52 different plants. Now this year, as I normally do, is I'll make plenty of salsa. I'll make some tomato paste, make some pickled tomato, onion, and cucumber salad. Yeah, I'm gonna probably make some spaghetti meat sauce as well. Now I've got 9 Amish paste tomatoes, 8 black Krim, 7 Martino's Roma, and 4 true black brandywine tomatoes, and then a variety of others. But those 4 kind of ones that I've kind of honed in on over the years, they really do well in my backyard garden. So I predominantly grow those types, and of course experiment and grow with some other ones as well. All right, so for peppers, I got 58 plants. 20 plus of those are different kinds of jalapenos, Crex Grande, orange spice, brown jalapenos, a couple of those different kinds. All do really well. I love jalapenos. Love stuffing them, putting them in the oven. I'll pickle jalapenos. I'll do cowboy candy, various other things. You can see recipes that I have on my YouTube channel. But love my peppers. This year I also want to do some fermentation of some peppers, make some hot sauce. So anybody got any good recipes for fermented hot sauce, or even not fermented hot sauce? Hey, shoot me something over. I'd love to try something out, but I know I'm going to make some hot sauce this year. I do have 6 Purple Beauty sweet bell peppers as well. A couple other types of bell peppers, or sweet bell peppers, to round out the garden. And again, I use a lot of that in salsa as well with the tomatoes and the tomatillos that I have. That's something I love to do is can when I can harvest them and be able to use that throughout the year, give it away as gifts at parties and things of that nature. Everybody enjoys that. Next up on my favorite types of plants, or at least the number of them that I have in the garden, is squash and pumpkins. And I always start out great with those, get a little bit of harvest off of them, whether it's zucchini, yellow crooked neck, or even a yellow scallop, which this is here. Some different kind of pumpkin / squash, winter squash here. The problem I get into, and I got a strategy this year that I might actually do a video and see how well it does, but the squash vine borer grub, or the squash vine borer moth, lays eggs on these squash plants. They go in in about within 48 hours, they pretty much decimate your squash. So anyhow, that's something we'll look at here as we get a little bit closer to it. And some of the remaining plants, we got things like corn, spinach, lettuce, eggplant, strawberries, and then a variety of other plants. Cucumbers, of course, is another one too. So let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and go through and look at each bed. You kind of looked at the overhead view. I talked about there was 2 of the 16 by 4 raised beds. We're going to go ahead and look at those. Now I'm not going to go through every single plant, but you got a number of tomatoes here. You got classic beefsteak, purple Russian, Martino's Roma, black brandywine, Croy, tomato carbon. Here you see you got some marigolds, just to kind of help deter pests as well as bringing some pollinators in. Amish paste, and again, look, I just kind of intersperse them throughout. I got a lot of tomatoes on this particular one. There's a true black brandywine. Then I got some peppers, a couple of Craig's Grande jalapenos, orange spice jalapenos. And this is a Mandan bride corn. This Mandan bride corn here, I'm not growing it to eat per se, but it looks really cool. You harvest it, let it dry. You can use it for fall and your home decoration, things like that. They're really some cool looking corn. Just kind of jumping around the back side of that first 4x16 I was covering. You got a sunflower in the middle there. Short stuff. You got a couple of peppers, a couple of tomatoes, black creme again. You got a squash Table King bush. It's just a bush squash. Jimmy Nartello's pepper, a couple of them. Martino's Roma. And a couple of peppers here. All right, this is the other 16 by 4 bed that I have. Kind of goes all the way down towards the wall there. If y'all saw, I planted some ginger the other day when I was kind of announcing the 275 subscriber giveaway. As you can tell, we got some ginger coming up right there. Well, I have more than one come up, but that particular one's in good shape, so it came up. I got 3 plants right here. You just take ginger from the store, plant it, and it grows. Pretty cool. All right, so I got some tomatoes here. I'm gonna go on the inside here. Got ananas nor carbon, Amish paste, and again, that's either a salvia, that blue, or it's a, what does they call it, a tall Russell lupine, I think, something like that. Regardless, it's a perennial for here in 9A. It lasted throughout the winter. You got to cut it back, but it grows like crazy. So, and the bees just absolutely, the pollinators love it. So, got some peppers, got some tomatillos right here. Tomatillos are doing pretty well. I'll probably pull those flowers because I want to start grow taller before it starts fruiting. Marigold, another tomatillo right here. That's probably, both of those are Amarillo. Those are yellow actual tomatillo. Hey, Roo. Hey, buddy. All right, so you got some more tomatoes here. Classic beefsteak. There's a pepper lipstick, just one of the varieties I like to try. Ukrainian purple tomato. Zinnia. 2 different flowers down here. It's a balsam peppermint stick. Never grown it before. We're gonna see what that's gonna do. Straw flower. All right, guys, so if you follow the Spring Garden 101 series, this is my little 4x5 bed that I built, that we planned, that we put the right soil mix in, sowed seeds, or transplanted some plants out here that we sowed inside. I mean, just look how great it's looking. Just gonna cover that real quick. You got some lettuce, little Jim, I think it is. You got some carrots. There's a green zucchini bush plant. Radishes, basil, some bush beans. I think there's a painted pony. You got some white Hellstone radish. This is purple plum radish. Green onions that I used from the grocery store. Green onions or scallions that I planted from the grocery store, and all you need is the root and about 3/4 of an inch. They will grow to that. Myrtle lettuce. I don't think you can get anything prettier. Cilantro. Gonna be a black beauty eggplant. This is a Rio Grande jalapeno. Not growing great, but it'll get there. This is a Ukrainian purple tomato. Got some sugar snap peas over there. Cucumbers in the back left corner there. This 4x5 bed, we got some cow peas and some southern peas. Got some squash growing right there. Got a Ukrainian purple tomato plant. Got some Detroit red beets. That's epinicia. It's growing there. A couple of tomato plants. Got a squash plant right here. Brown jalapeno, 2 of those. 3 of those. Got some spinach growing pretty good. Advarsky pepper. That's just another one I'm trying. Haven't tried before. A couple of them. Got some more spinach. This is that Michael's cow pea right here. All right, this 4x5 right here. This is where I got one of my trellises, the cow panel, 16-foot cow panel, just kind of wrapped around here. You got some loofah gourd. I've never tried growing a gourd, or at least the loofah gourd before. Can't wait to see how that does. This is a Lakota squash right here, pretty red one. Hopefully I can get it to harvest before the squash borer bugs come in. And that's a Birdhouse Gourd. This is some sunset runner beans right here. Coming around, got a sunflower, got another epinicia, that's perennial here. Cayenne, a couple of cayenne plants. Some more tomato plants here. Another pepper. Amish paste over there. All right, on the opposite side of that 4x5 bed I just looked at, we have some plants here. Got some Market More 76 cucumbers, a couple of peppers there. Another loofah gourd, a orange icicle, which is kind of a smaller orange tomato. They're pretty cool looking. Now these guys I've tried, they haven't turned out real good, but they're still alive, a couple of them. That one looks like it's surviving, that one's surviving, that one's surviving. But this is jicama, if you ever heard of jicama. Jicama is a real low carb, kind of like a potato. All right, this is where my other trellis, big 16-foot trellis cattle panel is. We'll kind of go, this is a 12x4 bed. Got some scallions here growing. Number of peppers, mostly Craig's jalapeno, grande jalapeno. Got some Cubanelle peppers, Amish paste, marigolds. Again, I try to put marigolds or some other kind of flower interspersed in here. Marigolds help deter pests, but more importantly, they attract pollinators. So, got some Georgia Southern collards growing right here. More tomatoes, more peppers. Again, this is a tall Russell lupine, I think it is. That's a couple of garlic plants growing right here. Some carrots. This is some Rio Grande Tomatillos. Haven't ever grown those before. That particular type. I've done the various other types of tomatillos, purple corban, amarillo, and verde, but these is Rio Grande. They're supposed to be pretty big, so let's try that. More peppers, another tomato plant, and some more cucumbers. All right, in this 4x12 bed, y'all have seen this before. I planted garlic in here in the fall. It's still growing, not time to harvest yet. 3 different types of garlic here. The most important one to me is the elephant garlic down at the end. Nice big cloves. Love to grow those, so I'll probably grow more of that in the future. In this final 4x12, I got some tall Utah celery. That stuff grows really well here. It will go to seed at some point, but you can harvest a heck of a lot of celery off of that and some onions that are going to seed right now. Mostly green onion scallion. I got a couple of tomato plants in here. There's a big California giant zinnia there. Let's see where that goes in a little bit. Those actually grow pretty well. They're beautiful flowers. Like to bring them in, make the wife happy. Bring her some flowers she can put in a vase. Now I also mentioned that I have some 3-foot wide raised beds along the fence line. That's what you got here. I don't always plant a bunch of stuff. I just planted some new blackberries over here, just some roots that had grown from another plant. Looks like they're doing okay. There's 1 or 2 that aren't doing great, but I just did that like a week or 2 ago, so they look pretty good. So I'm gonna have new blackberries here. A couple of peppers, marigold, and some basil. That's some Thai basil right there. There's another just beautiful plant. The bees, the pollinators absolutely love this. There's zinnia and a red Marconi pepper. I just planted a squash, a Thai cane cob pumpkin. It's real small blue squash, and that's, you've heard me talk about that. I love the variety, and it's kind of what I love to do, is again just plant stuff I never planted before and see what happens. That's actually some red onions I had planted from last year. Doing okay. Let me move around. Alright, so this is just on the other side of that 3-foot wide raised bed on the fence bed. You got a little watermelon plant there. That's a Moon and Stars Cherokee watermelon I'm going to grow there. And this is a couple different kinds of spinach that grow pretty well in a more warmer climate like we have here in Louisiana. Now of course you got some lemon. This is my improved Meyer lemon tree. It's going to grow. Alright, so just kind of looking down the rest of the fence line. It's the other fence line. Got some corn here, some sweet corn. Got some Kennebec potatoes that I planted. I mean, you can look how tall these plants are. Now, I originally had dug a trench and planted these in there. Then kind of poured the dirt back over it. I think I need to put some more dirt in here. But these things are just growing like crazy. Little sunflower. These are some yellow scallop squash. A couple kinds of winter squash. We'll see if I can grow them before the dreaded squash vine borer moth comes around. These are 1,500-year-old pole beans. They're called 1,500-year-old. Is the type. Only a couple of them are growing. I guess because they're so old. Got some cucumbers, a couple different types of cucumbers. Squash again, and cucumbers growing there. That is a melon. That's the Madhu Rashan honey melon. I mean, they just taste so good. It's just like a cantaloupe basically, but they are so good, and they grow pretty well in here. Along this area here, a couple of 4 tomatoes there, and I got some peppers here. That's one of those peppermint balsam plants there. As you can tell, this blackberry here, let's take a look at the blackberry. It's just absolutely just moving through the ground, coming up. So it's trying to spread. I'll probably let it go ahead and spread. I may go ahead and pull the rest of those plants. But look at this blackberry. I mean, golly, man, I'm gonna have so much blackberries all at once. Now, I showed you this a minute ago, but these are basically Kennebec potatoes. Yeah, you basically get, and I got these from, I think, Clegg's nursery near my house. And what you do is you take that potato, you cut it in pieces. It has a couple of eyes on each, 1 or 2 eyes at least on each section. You cut it, you leave it out for 3 or 4 days, let the potato, the inside side of it, basically cure a little bit. Then you can go ahead and plant in the ground, and coming out of those eyes is these plants right here. They'll grow out of the ground. And you know, I probably got some new potatoes at this point. I'll wait a little bit and dig in some more here in a little bit of time. All right, so this potato box, so I planted some, this is red Pontiac potatoes. This is one course, and I could pull this off, I just don't feel like doing it, but you can pull each ring off, and then eventually, once these potatoes get to a point where we think there's some good potatoes, you can actually pull these sides off and go directly to the roots and be able to see what you got. But these are doing pretty well. These started a lot later than the other ones over there. All right, you've probably seen this in the background. It's just a table that I typically wash my stuff off before I bring it inside. But as you can tell, I'm giving you a little sneak preview. I went ahead and planted a whole bunch of herbs out here. This is part of my herb gardening 101 series. Little short series I'm gonna put together in the next couple weeks. As you can tell, we got some oregano, some tarragon growing, thyme, parsley, dill, Thai sweet basil, and some more dill here. And but anyhow, we'll take a look at that in more detail here in a couple weeks when I go and put a video together on those. I had a video on strawberries the other day. So these are 2 pots that still have strawberries in them. As you can tell, they love growing here in southeast Louisiana, zone 9A. I mean, look at that. I think I'm gonna eat that one. That's good. You've probably heard me say on that video that there's nothing better than coming out in your yard, just walking out your back door, getting some fresh strawberries, fresh figs, blueberries, ground cherries, whatever it may be. There's nothing like coming out here and just getting you some fresh snacks. Now, in that strawberry video, I did show you how I'd planted one of these hanging planters. The strawberry plants I'd gotten were bare root plants that I'd gotten from Lowe's. I wasn't blown away by them, although those other 2 pots you saw, they were from the same type of bare root from Lowe's. But nevertheless, these were ordered from, I think, Gurney's, and they were called Whopper strawberries. But I mean, look how well these are doing. Okay, look at these strawberries over here. Look at this big one here. I wanted to eat it earlier, but I wanted to save it for you to see on the video. Okay, so I got 4 of these, got 2 more hanging here. All right, just got this dwarf key lime tree, went ahead and planted in this container. It'll do fine. That's a little bit of a bee balm. It's gonna collect or attract pollinators, bees for sure. This is a Calamandan lemon. That's a purple and a gold LSU fig. They're doing really well. These are 2 other figs. I don't know the actual, I don't remember the name of these. I've had these a number of years. And the rest of these 8 containers here are blueberries. One's a pink lemonade blueberry. Man, if you can find one of those variety, they taste so good. I can't kid you. I really love the pink lemonade variety of blueberry. Nevertheless, probably got them a little bit cramped. My wife's on me telling me, oh, they're too close together. She's probably right. I need to trim them a little bit. Nevertheless, I get plenty of blueberries out of these every year. The birds get a few, and I'm okay with that. And along this on the right side of the shed, I got some trees or bushes, shall we say. This is a red Goji Berry. I mean, you get tons of harvest off this thing. What I typically do is dry them and just kind of put them in whatever that's a really good snack. They're full of antioxidants, so that's a good thing. This was a Tamarillo tree. I'm not sure it's going to make it. I think that we had a prolonged time of about 14 degrees, and I think it's probably dead. There's still some live wood in it, but I'm I'm going to have to keep up with that one. Got 3 different types of cherry trees. They lost all their leaves in the winter. They're starting to rebound back. I don't know. I mean, you know, Zone 9A is borderline for having any kind of cherries, even ones that they say are for Zone 9A. We'll see what happens there. This is one of my other favorite fruits to just come out and snack on. It's called Aunt Molly's ground cherry. We got a couple more. Bee balm. Now, butterfly weed. I did not know exactly what those were for, but if I'm not mistaken, last year I had some monarch butterflies land on these, and this is one of the few things that they actually eat. So I had some of these beautiful, beautiful caterpillars eating away on my butterfly weed, which I hated to see, but man, it was cool seeing those butterflies. The monarch butterflies are not doing great, so if I can feed a few of them, I think that's all for the good. Hey guys, thanks for coming back to Louisiana Simple Living. As you can tell, it's kind of getting late in the day. Had a bit of a snafu this weekend, I guess. My Friday night, or Saturday morning, I guess. A big storm kind of came through, and my mom and dad's place, they had a tree fall down on their storage shed outside. So we've had to go and put a tarp over it and remove a whole bunch of stuff out. But hey, thanks for joining me again at Louisiana Simple Living. I hope by reviewing my backyard garden, my raised beds, containers, I got trees, fruit, vegetables, flowers. Hopefully I'm giving you a little idea or some insight or some things maybe you can do at your backyard garden, or maybe a little inspiration for what you can do. Because if you want to do it, you can absolutely do it. I know there's no doubt about that. And I'm here to help you out. So let me know if you got any questions. And hey, look, if you haven't subscribed just yet, please subscribe. And again, feel free to share the video. There may be some others who can get some value out of the video, so feel free to share it. That'd be a good thing. And just a reminder, make memories now, not later. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.